Is technology really good for us? Is the internet a haven or an essential guide to everyone, or is it secretly a plague in disguise, slowly taking our lives by the minute? The internet is a networking system that varies of information and communication facilities, which uses many interconnected networks using communication protocols. So the question is, how could this possibly be bad for us, or how could it be known as a plague? Well, there are many reasons to why it could be suggested as a plague, or in other words, a block off to the world, or how I would say, a block off to the real world. Of course, the internet helps us in many ways, such as typing an essay or helping with an online class. But we have truly squandered away from our ties and our connections throughout the world. It has been proven by many renowned scientists and researchers that nowadays around 3 billion people are using the internet daily, and 730 million people as of today, 3.2 billion people. These researchers have calculated that over 70% of them have use electronics daily throughout their entire day, losing hours of time on the outside world. The first main reason to why the internet can be bad for us is because the internet has taken too much time from us from the real world. Real world. As of today, most of us are constantly on our electronic devices, which uses internet and a bunch of other necessities need to help provide those devices. This causes us to unplug from the real world and instead become plugged into the digital world. This comes from many consequences. This comes with many consequences, and most importantly, it brings us away from what is truly happening around our area or our surroundings. The second main reason is that using internet causes major stress on the person, and um, it uses a certain amount of time. The use of electronic devices extensively on a person can bring up extreme stress on the persons, especially on the eyes. According to David Volpe, MD, you can get migraines, headaches, stress, and you can have other symptoms too on your body and your mind. This was tested by a on and stated on an article by a group of researchers that had gathered 1,000 people and surveyed them on electronics and how they felt on them. Uh, Around 80% of them, they said that it felt like their mind was being weakened in somehow, and it's most likely due to the artificial lighting in the screen. Um, the third main reason is that technology can might in a way feel weakened in the mind. The reasons that follow behind this is, for one, technology is messing with our sleeping schedule. This is a number one reason to why many people may feel weaker in the mind, because everything that you learn is being processed while you sleep. So whenever you're sleeping, it's basically holding that information into your mind, but you're not correctly processing it. Um, Being on the internet or your gadget can easily distract you. Distraction is one's worst enemy, especially whenever you're trying to study. And trust me, we all get the urge to sometimes take a little peek or a little break from our work, and instead we decide to have a vacation on our phone. This can be very tedious whenever you're doing work because it keeps you away from getting your work done, and you can't really get smarter if you're not getting your work done. Um, you cannot remember as much is another side effect to this problem. When on your technology, it makes you unable to process the information, which leads you to not being able to form new memories. This is common between people using technology and has been found by large numbers of people who use technology quite often. Relying on the internet too much has also become a problem. When using the internet, many people rely on the internet to solve their problems and find an easier way out to their harder task. Um, Surveyors have found out that it creates forgetfulness in a person, which then leads to problems with them remembering what they were doing and what they were learning. Needing to go to places or basics in how to survive. It slowly has decreased over the time as you get into technology, because you don't really need those basic survival techniques anymore since you have your phone or your device. Most of it on what we do now is, of course, on our phones or technology. Finally, internet brings you some eyesight problems. This can lead to you needing glasses, or perhaps you can go blind. This is a serious matter. It is caused by artificial lighting in the screen, which makes your eyes wary just by looking at it, and of course, it will make some serious damage to your eyes, which can be permanent over time. Of course, looking at a screen for around 10 minutes to an hour is not a big problem, but if you look at it extensively, it can make drastic changes to your eyes. In conclusion, the internet is not much of a haven that we thought it was. Instead, it tears us away from the path that was leading us to a good future. But now, instead, we are having problems with our daily routines, such as going places or just simply looking at something. This should be a reminder to all of us that we need to go back out into the world and off of our technology, because as your device gets viruses too, it'll be a plague for us, and it is not too late to stop it.